You know, even still at this point, ladies and gentlemen, with all the videos I've made, with all the stories I've covered, it blows my mind and probably yours as well. We live in this world where somebody talking common sense will effectively get them cancelled. And most of the time, coincidentally, it's when you have an opinion that goes against what liberals, leftists preach. Even if you're not political right, you don't consider yourself political, just having a thought that goes against theirs is, well, simply a crime, and you must be cancelled. Nickmercs, a popular Call of Duty streamer, is the topic of today's video. He's a very prominent figure within that community, and he's in a lot of controversy now because of a tweet he sent out in response to a situation going down in California. Now, for those of you that don't know about that situation, you don't know what went down. There was a huge altercation apparently between Armenian fathers and leftists because the fathers, the parents, weren't happy with their kids learning about LGBTQ+ ideas in the school, and a lot more. The Daily Signal go on to report on this situation and give a little bit more context to this, some context people may not know about. 3 arrested after Antifa clashes with Armenian parents at California school board meeting. Several fights broke out between Antifa and parental rights activists Tuesday night outside the Glendale Unified School District's administration building in Glendale, California, during a school board meeting discussing LGBTQ+ curriculum. Following the Glendale School Board's decision to incorporate LGBTQ+ pride festivals and celebrations into June school days, dozens of parents pulled students from classrooms, with elementary schools seeing only 40% of students show up for class on June 2nd. Additional documents revealed that Glendale staff have attempted to incorporate LGBTQ+ materials and ideology into other curriculum. One assistant principal even told staff to teach children that every person is by default queer and socialist. Several parents told Glendale's board they were concerned with Glendale's transgender policies, such as allowing students of the opposite sex to use the same bathrooms and locker rooms, putting their children at risk. One father goes on to tell the board, "I graduated from Glendale in '96 and I have 2 daughters. My daughter is afraid to change in the locker room because she knows another guy could come into the room. When I asked the principal, he told me there were no cross-gender bathroom policies." And again, you know, these are issues leftist liberals claim don't happen. It's a myth. It's simply not going on and people are making it up, even though there's a new story every single week. But anyway, you know, back to reality. We all know kids should not be exposed to LGBTQ+ ideology from a young age. They should not be reading LGBTQ books. We've all seen some of the content within those books. Kids should not be told by default they're either socialist or queer. On top of that, you know, people using the opposite sex locker rooms, changing rooms. That is inexcusable and it should not be happening. And this is where Nickmercs comes in, because he responded to somebody else's tweet when they were talking about this altercation that went down in California, and it goes as follows. One user goes on to say, "This happened 4 blocks from my Overwatch League apartment. Americans are in a sad place right now. Let people love who they love and live your own life." Nickmercs then goes on to say they should leave little children alone. That's the real issue. And that one tweet there, ladies and gentlemen, those few words, being concerned over kids, you know, because he is also now a new father, caused so much controversy. People are calling him out, they're demonizing him, criticizing him. How dare he have such opinion? You're simply in the wrong. They're calling him all the buzzwords underneath the sun. Do not think before you tweet, my friend. That's what they've been saying. Now, the funny thing is to me about these people being angry over this tweet is they all have surface level opinions. They've actually not done any research into this, okay? Because when you look at what kids are actually being taught in some schools, especially in America and in the UK, by the way, it is highly concerning when you look at what ideas are being pushed onto them, what ideologies they're being taught. Girls' safe spaces sometimes being taken away from them in the form of locker rooms, change rooms. I literally did a video the other day with a girls' high school volleyball team. They had their locker room essentially taken away from them because of a boy who identifies as a woman and went into that locker room and they felt uncomfortable. And we want to take it a step further. You hear the stories of children changing genders and the teachers keeping that a secret from their parents. This is the stuff that goes on in schools, and parents today have a right to be concerned over what their kids are learning. It is not hateful, it's not bigotry to be concerned. But anyway, you know, again, these things don't happen. Remember, it's a myth. Nothing goes on. Call of Duty picked up on this nonetheless, and they have responded to Nickmercs and his opinion by punishing him. They sent out the following tweet saying, "Due to recent events, we have removed the Nickmercs Operator bundle from the Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone store. We are focused on celebrating Pride with our employees and our community." A man sends out a tweet raising concerns over what kids are being taught at school, says the kids should be left out of it, and he effectively gets cancelled by Call of Duty. Now, Call of Duty, Activision going against what Nickmercs is saying is also telling everybody what they stand for. And when you really start to think about it, you think about the future of social media and content creation, this is going to be a big issue the average content creator in the future is going to face. Now, I'm not saying Nickmercs is the average content creator, of course not. He's highly successful, but I'm just talking about the grand scheme of things. It doesn't matter if they're a gamer or a streamer, a mukbang channel, a makeup channel, vlogger, it doesn't matter what it is, they will not be allowed to express political opinions, certain opinions, because they'll face the same things as Nickmercs. They'll be cancelled, vilified on social media, lose sponsorships, the list goes on. Essentially, they want people to be robots and just sit there and say yes sir, no sir, and just say nothing and just provide content. And some content creators don't like that. It becomes a very tough job for them because they know they can't say anything, otherwise they'll get into trouble. Their hands are tied, and then especially when you live in a time where telling people 2 + 2 = 4 on the internet is highly offensive, the best thing for them when they start to think about it is just to shut up and be silent and talk about nothing. It's a sad state of society when people can't express their own opinions because they're scared of the consequences. Now, Nickmercs has responded to this backlash. I can't even believe it's backlash. I really can't. On a stream where he says, because he's a new father, as I've said, he wants to be the one to tell his kid about certain things. Not anybody else, not the schools. Take a listen.
I didn't like what I was seeing, man. Okay? I saw parents brawling in front of a school with kids. I just didn't like it. My wife and I just had a baby. Brand new father. We seeing these kinds of videos. It's sad, But her and I agree that we want to be the ones to talk to our kid about things like that. I'm trying to keep it really simple, just so we don't have to get too crazy about it, because there's nothing to get crazy about. It's just, it really is that simple. I just don't think it's any place for a teacher or a school. I don't think it's the place to speak about things like that. And it's not that I think that it shouldn't be spoken about. If that's what you got from that tweet, then you're just wrong. I don't have any quarrel with anybody in here. I don't have any quarrel with people on the internet. It wasn't an anti, I guess, gay tweet. That wasn't what it was. Now listen, if you have issues with me or if you have issues with that tweet, then hey, listen, I'm down to agree to disagree. That's fine. We can agree to disagree. But if you think that I hate you because you're a certain way, you just couldn't be any more wrong. That's not the truth. I've said things in my past. I've done things in my past. We all have. Okay. People grow. People get better. It's part of life, man. Okay. And I've grown a lot as a human being on planet. I'm sure we all have. Okay. I do not feel that way. I just simply feel that I want to be the one and my wife wants to be the one to speak with our child about stuff like that. And that was the tweet. That was the tweet. You can take the tweet if you want and you can spin it, flip it, flop it, quote tweet it. You can put 10 paragraphs on top of it. You can do whatever you want to it to make you feel better if that's what you want to do. But that was the tweet. Okay? So if you came here to hear that, I hope you feel a little better about it. I didn't mean to upset anybody. I know that I did. I'm not apologizing about the tweet because I don't feel like it's wrong. I'm going to stand by what I said. I'm not going to delete the tweet. I just want to make sure everybody understands exactly the point I was trying to make by tweeting my response.
Yeah, so I think we can all say this is a prime example of social media twisting things, painting things in an evil way because you did not agree with a certain progressive view of the world. And this always happens. We sit here all the time and say, if you disagree with a tiny bit of it, these are the actions people celebrate. They want you to lose your sponsorships, even though if you're a concerned father and new father and you're concerned about what kids are being taught in school, that's hateful. You're not simply allowed to have that opinion. That is bigotry. That's what they're telling people. Essentially, what you're saying is parents do not have the right to look after their kids in the school. That is the school's right, and the schools can do and say what they want. How have we reached that point when parents having the right to be concerned over their kids is now deemed as hateful? Sending out a tweet saying, leave the kids out of it, is not saying you dislike people, not saying you dislike anything or you're anti-something, which, is what people like to say. If you say something against something, that means you're suddenly anti all of this. That's not the case? How about people just let their emotions not get the better of them and look at it for what it is? This is just simply a man, like many other fathers as well, concerned over what schools are now teaching kids. It's that simple, really. Another saying I like to have in my videos, it is so simple. Society wants to go in the opposite direction, but that is the end of the video, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure to leave your comments down below about this whole situation. How do you feel about this Call of Duty player being cancelled for expressing an opinion that really is just common sense? I would like to know. If you have enjoyed today's video, then please for me, make sure to leave a like rating. If you're new, hit that subscribe button and turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video. But until next time, until tomorrow, it has been your boy JD. Have a great day, stay safe, and I'm out. Peace.